Hi guys, welcome back to the session. Today we will learn about invoke workflow file activity and arguments in UiPath. So let's get started by looking into this invoke workflow file activity. So if you are working in a complex project, it is always recommended to break the complex project into smaller workflows that can be built and tested separately and later on integrate them to the main workflow. Now, such process helps the project to become more readable and reusable. Now, to integrate the workflows to the main workflow, specified workflow is invoked by invoke workflow file activity. Also, this invoke workflow file activity optionally passes a list of arguments to the specified workflow. Now, what is this arguments? Let's look into that. So, arguments are used to pass data from a project or workflow to another. Now we also learnt about variables in the previous session. So what is the difference between variables and arguments? So variables are used to pass data between activities, whereas the arguments are used to pass data between projects or workflows. Now there are different type of arguments present such as string, boolean, object, array, etc. Also the arguments have specific directions, that is in, out and property, which we will look in few minutes. So let's quickly jump into the UI part to understand this invoke workflow file activity and arguments in a better manner. So let's quickly jump to UI path. So I have an Excel file where I have different numbers. So what I want to do for each of these rows, I want to add the number 1 and number 2 and put the result in add result column. And similarly, I want to subtract the number 1 and number 2 and put the result in this sub result column. So let's create this project in UiPath using multiple workflows which uses invoke workflow file activity and arguments. So let's move to UiPath. I will quickly create a new project. So for that, let's select this process and let's give the name of the project as invoke workflow, and my project will be stored in this location, and let's give the description as this is a demo on invoke workflow file and arguments. Let's click on create. So here we are in the UiPath design page. Let's move to project, double click on main. So this will be my main workflow where I'm going to write the activities to read the data from this Excel sheet and write the result to this Excel sheet. Now to write the logic for addition and subtraction, I'm going to add more workflows. So for that, we'll move to UiPath, click on this new and select a workflow type from here. Let's select the workflow type as sequence. Let's give the name of the sequence as addition and let's click on create. Similarly, let's create a new workflow for subtraction as well. So for that, let's click on new again, select a workflow type and let's give the workflow name as subtraction and let's click on create. So we have now multiple workflows, that is main, addition and subtraction. In the addition, I'm going to write the logic for addition, and in the subtraction, I'm going to write the logic for subtraction. Now before that, let's move to main and let's drop activities over here to read the data from this Excel sheet. So we'll move to UiPath and let's add the workflow type. First of all, let's add the workflow type as sequence. Let's drag and drop it over here. Now I'm going to drop the activities to read the data from this Excel sheet. Now before proceeding, I assume that you are comfortable to work on Excels and data tables in UiPath. In case you are not, please refer to my previous videos on Excels and data tables. I will share the link in the description. So now let's add activities to read the data from the Excel sheet. So first of all, I'm going to add the activity read range. So this is the read range activity under the workbook. It reads the values from the Excel sheet and assigns it to the data table. So let's drag and drop it over here and let's provide the workbook path. So we need to provide the workbook path of this numbers Excel. So let's click on browse. And from here, let's search for the numbers Excel. So this is our file. Let's click on open. So our sheet name is sheet 1. So this is the sheet 1. And I want to extract the values from A1 cell to D5 cell. This is the A1 cell and this is the D5 cell. So let's provide the cell range over here as A1 to D5. And now since it reads the value from the Excel and assigns it to the data table, so we need to put a data table over here in the output section. So let's create a data table over here. Right click over here, click on create variable, and let's give the name of the data table as DT1. Now this entire data is stored inside the data table DT1. Now we need to loop through each of these rows. So for that we need to add the for each activity. So let's search for the for each row activity. So this is the for each row activity under the data table. Let's drag and drop it over here. So for each row in the data table which we just created, so for each of these rows in data table, I want to get the value of number 1 and number 2. So how to do that? So for that, I'm going to add an assign activity. Let's add an assign activity over here. And in the expression value, I'm going to write the active row, and under the brackets we need to provide the column name from where we wish to fetch the data. So first of all, let's provide the column name as number 1. Now the value of this expression is of type object, but I want to get the value as an integer. So to convert this value into integer, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the function as cint and provide this entire expression inside the cint function. Let's click on create, and this expression I'm going to assign the value of this expression to a variable. So right click over here, click on create variable, and let's give the name of the variable as num1. Let's move to variables from here, and this is the num1 variable which we created. Let's change the variable type to int32, and let's provide the scope as sequence. So in this way we extracted the value of num1 from the Excel sheet. Similar way, I'm going to extract the value of number 2 from this Excel sheet. So for that, again, I'm going to add one more assign activity. In the value, I'm going to provide row, and in the brackets, I'm going to write the column name. Column name is number 2. Let's copy and let's paste it over here. Again, we need to convert it into integer. So for that, let's add the function cint and provide the expression under this. Let's click on OK. Same way, I'm going to assign it to another variable, say num2, and let's move to variables again. And this num2 variable will be of variable type int32, and let's give the scope as sequence. So we created two variables, that is num1 and num2, which holds the value of these numbers. Now we will create two more variables over here which will hold the value of add result and subtraction result. So let's create two more variables. Let's give the name as add result, and this will be of variable type int32. Let's take the scope as sequence. Similar way, let's create another variable as subtraction result, and the variable type will be again int32, and let's give the scope as sequence. Let's move it to down. Now so far we fetched the values of number 1 and number 2 over here in the variables num1 and num2. Now we need to write the logic to do the addition and subtraction, which we are going to do in these workflows. So let's move to the addition workflow and let's see what all logic we need to write over here. Now we need to add the numbers num1 and num2 which is present in the main workflow, and we want to pass this num1 and num2 to this addition workflow. So we learned to pass the values from one workflow to another, we need to use the arguments. So in the addition, I'm going to create the arguments to get the values of num1 and num2. So in the addition, let's create the argument. So this is the arguments tab. Let's click over here and let's create the argument. So I'm going to give the argument name as in num1. So we created this argument Next, we need to provide the direction of the argument. Since the value of this argument will come from this main workflow, that's why the direction will be in this case. We will look into the other directions in few minutes. So for this in num1, the direction will be in, then the argument type will be in 32. We won't give any default value over here. The value will come from the main workflow from this num1. And again we will create argument to get the value of this num2 variable. So let's create another argument as in num2. The direction will be in this case as well, since the value of this num2 argument will come from the main workflow from this num2 variable. And let's give the argument type as in 32 over here. Now I'm going to use this assign activity over here, and I'm going to add these two arguments in num1 plus in num2, and the result of this addition I'm going to assign over here. So for that also I'm going to create another argument, and I'm going to give the name of the argument as out add result. Now in this case the direction will be out. Why the direction will be out? Because the result, the add result, will be going out from this addition workflow to the main workflow. So here I have taken the direction as out. Again the argument type will be in 32. So let's provide the out add result over here. Let's save this one. Now let's look into the type of directions which are present. We learnt about in. If the value is coming in from the main workflow to this addition workflow, the direction will be in. If the value is going out from this addition workflow to the main workflow, then the direction will be out. If there is an argument which can be coming in and going out from this addition workflow, then the direction will be in out. Next direction with us is the property. So this property direction is used in the case if you are not using the argument anymore, but it might be useful in future. So in such cases we can make the direction as property. So we have written the logic of addition. Let's add a message box over here. Let's add a message box. Let's drag and drop it over here. Please note that I am using this message box just for the debug purpose. In the final execution, all the message box should be removed. There should not be any human intervention. So I'm going to write a message that inside the addition workflow to do the addition. Okay. In a similar manner, I'm going to write the logic for subtraction as well. I'm going to add assign activity over here, and in a similar way let's add the arguments over here as well. Now in this case as well, this num1 and num2 values will be provided to subtraction using the arguments. So let's create similar arguments over here. In num1 the direction will be in, and the argument type will be in 32. Similarly, I'm going to create in num2, direction will be string, argument type will be in 32, and I'm going to provide another argument as out sub result, and direction will be out in this case, since the value of the subtraction result will move from this subtraction workflow to the main workflow. Similarly, argument type will be in 32 over here, and let's provide the values. So I'm going to write in num1 minus in num2, and let's provide the value to out sub result. And let's add a message box over here as well. Let's keep the message as inside subtraction workflow to do the subtraction. Now we have completed the logic for addition. Also we have completed the logic for subtraction. So from the main workflow we need to call this addition workflow and the subtraction workflow. So how to do that? So Now this invoke workflow file activity comes into picture. So I'm going to use this invoke workflow file activity. So we have this invoke workflow file activity present under uipath.system.activities package. Let's drag and drop it over here, and here we need to provide the workflow path. So first let's provide the workflow path for this addition. Let's click on browse, and from here let's select this addition workflow. Let's click on open, and next we have the option to import the arguments. So let me open the variables as well, it will be helpful. Let's open this one, and from the import arguments, so if you click over here, here you see all the arguments which we created under the addition workflow is present over here. We created in num1, in num2 and out add result. So all the arguments of the addition workflow is present over here. So here we need to provide the values for all these arguments. So the values which we will provide over here will be passed to this addition workflow with the help of the arguments which we created under this addition workflow. So let's see what all values we need to provide over here. First we have the argument as in num1. Here I am going to provide the value as num1, which is the variable which we created in the main workflow, which will hold the values from this number 1 column. So I'm going to write the value as num1 over here. Similarly, in num2, I'm going to provide the value as num2, which is the variable which we created in this main workflow, which holds the values from this column, that is number 2 column. Now the addition result will come from this addition workflow to the main workflow, which we will assign to this add result. This is the add result variable which we created over here. It doesn't have any value so far, so we are assigning the value of this argument which we created under this addition workflow to this add result variable. So let's click on OK. So in this way we integrated this addition workflow inside this main workflow. Let's change the name of this workflow from here. Let's give the name as invoke workflow file, and let's give the name as invoke workflow file addition. In a similar way, I'm going to invoke this subtraction workflow as well. So let's drag and drop this invoke workflow file once again. Let's change the name of this invoke workflow file as invoke workflow file subtraction. And here I'm going to add the subtraction workflow. Let's click on browse, and let's select this subtraction workflow from here. Let's click on open, and from this import argument, here you see all the arguments which we created under this subtraction workflows are present over here. So we need to provide the corresponding values over here, which will help to pass the values from the main workflow to subtraction and vice versa. So for in num1, I'm going to provide again the value as num1 variable from here, from this num1 variable. Again for in num2, I'm going to provide the variable as num2, and the result of the subtraction which will be coming out from this subtraction workflow to the main workflow, I'm going to provide the value as the variable. This is the sub result variable which we created under the main workflow. So let's provide the variable as sub result, and let's click on open. So using these two activities, we integrated this addition and the subtraction workflow under the main workflow, and also we got the values of add result and sub result from this addition and the subtraction workflow respectively. Now we want to write the values of add result and sub result in the Excel under the columns add result and sub result. So let's see how we can do that. So for that again I'm going to use the assign activity first. So let's drag and drop the assign activity, and the value of add result I'm going to provide to row, which will be the active row, and under the brackets, we need to provide the column name. So let's provide this column name over here, add column. In a similar way, I am going to add another assign activity to put the value of subtraction result, and here I am going to write row, and under the brackets let's provide the subtraction result column name. Let's copy it from here and let's paste it over here. Now using these two assign activities, we have written the values of add result and subtraction result in the data table. Since this row is an item from the data table, we have added for each row in DT1 data table, we have done all these activities under the for each row. Now at the end, we need to write the data table inside this Excel sheet as well. So at the end, I am going to add an activity write range. So this is the write range activity under the workbook, which is used to write the data from data table into a spreadsheet. So let's drag and drop it over here and make sure that you are adding this write range activity outside this for each loop. So for each row is over. Now I am adding this write range activity. So let's click on browse to provide the workbook path. We need to provide the workbook path of this numbers Excel. So let's click on browse. So from this folder, let's select this numbers file. Let's click on open, and my sheet name will be sheet 1, and I want to write from A1 cell. Data table name is DT1, and in the options we need to check this box because my Excel sheet contains headers. These all are the headers. So we check this box, add headers. So all done. This activity is going to write the value of DT1 data table inside this Excel sheet. So let's move to main again. So our task is ready now. Let's quickly recap what we are doing in this task. So first of all, under this sequence workflow, using this read range activity, we are reading the data from this Excel sheet and assigning it to the variable data table, that is DT1. Then we are looping through each of the rows inside the data table DT1, that is for each row inside DT1 we are fetching the values of the column number 1 and number 2 for each of these rows and assigning it to the variables num1 and num2. Now to do the addition of num1 and num2 and the subtraction of num1 and num2, we are invoking two workflows, that is the addition and subtraction, which are used to do the addition of two numbers and the subtraction of two numbers using the arguments which we created under this addition workflow and the subtraction workflow, and the result we received in the add result and sub result respectively, which we are putting it under the data table. Now at the end of the workflow, we are writing the data table inside the Excel sheet using the write range activity. So let's quickly run this project to see how it works. I will close this Excel and let's save the project and let's quickly run to see how it works. So the project is running now. We got the message from the addition workflow as inside the addition workflow to do the addition. This is for the first row. Let's press OK. And similar message we received from inside addition workflow to do the subtraction. Let's press OK again. Then we received the same message from the second row. Let's press OK, and this one also from the second row. Then we receive the message from the third row. Let's press OK, and same for the third row for subtraction as well. Let's press OK again. And similarly, we receive the message for the final row, that is the fourth row. Let's press OK. And this one for the subtraction. Let's press OK again. So our project is over. We'll quickly see the result in the Excel sheet. So let's open the Excel. So this is our required file. Let's open this one to see the results. So here you see we got the addition and the subtraction result for all these two numbers, that is number 1 and number 2. So in this way you can work with the multiple workflows in UiPath using this invoke workflow file activity and the arguments. And let me know in case you face any queries. And that's all for this session, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a like and share with your friends and hit the bell button to get the updates on the latest videos. And I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye bye.